All right, so let's start talking about this lesson, which is it a right triangle? So first we're going to do a little bit of review. So let's review that the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And so what is that talking about? If we have a right triangle, okay, then a and b are the legs, and C is the hypotenuse. And so the hypotenuse is always the side that is directly across from the right angle, and it's always the longest side. So we're going to go back and even talk a little bit more about, remember, how do we determine if three sides make a triangle? And this is any kind of triangle. So remember what we did is the sum of the two smaller sides must be greater than the larger side. So that's add the small and medium and see if that sum is greater than the large. Okay, and this is how we're determining just if it is a triangle. So we're going to do a couple of example problems. Here first, determine if the sides make make a triangle. So what you want to do is also make sure that the numbers are in order because they aren't always given that way. So we want the small, which is 3, and the large in the middle, which is 4. So we're going to add the 3 plus 4, and we're going to see if that is bigger than 5. And then so we add those together. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 is greater than 5. So yes, this makes a triangle. Okay, so we took the smallest and the middle number, added those together, and then determined the sum. All right, let's do another example. Here we have 8 centimeters, 9 centimeters, and 15 centimeters. So right here, we actually have, here we got the small, the middle, and the large. So they are in order. So we'll do 8 plus 9 and see if that is greater than 15. So 8 plus 9 is 17. 17 is greater than 15. So again, that is a true statement. So yes, these make a triangle. And so if the sum was not bigger, then you wouldn't have a triangle, or if it was equal to. So we did that back in unit 4. Okay. So now let's talk. We just talked about how do you know if three sides make a triangle. We want to take it a little further. How do we know if three sides make a right triangle? So let's kind of pay attention to that. That's the difference. How do we know if it makes a right triangle? So what we're going to do is plug the values into the Pythagorean theorem, making sure to put the largest number in for C. Because remember, if it was going to be a right triangle, that hypotenuse would be the biggest side. Okay? And if you plug it in and then you work it out, so you do your a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If it's a true statement, then you have a triangle. If it's not a true statement, then you do not have a triangle. So let's do a little bit of practice. So we just want to determine if these side lengths actually make a right triangle. So here's example 1. And let's just go from here. This one's the small. Here's the largest. Well, let's not. Let's see, I made the mistake I don't want you guys to do. The small's over here, the middle, and there's the large, right? So let's make sure we're paying attention to that. So the small and middle are going to go into, we're going to start with a squared plus b squared equals c squared. There we go. Okay, so we're going to plug in. We're going to plug in the two small sides, and it really doesn't matter in that case which one goes, but we go 6 squared plus 9 squared, and we're going to see if that equals 10 squared, sorry. Okay, so we just plug in the values, always making sure the biggest one goes in for C, and then we're just going to work these out. So we have 36 plus 81 equals 100. So we square these, and you can just type this straight into Desmos. Okay, then we're going to add them up. All right, so now we're going to add up 36 and 81, and we get 117. I want to say, does that equal 100? 117 does not equal 100. So that makes this is not a right triangle. Okay, so let's try another example. And this one, they actually just gave you the picture of a triangle, and that's fine. We want to determine, does this actually make a right triangle? So here's your small, your middle, and your large. Let's see if that's true. So we do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we have 5 squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared. Okay, so then you can put this in the Desmos. So 5 squared is 25 plus 12 squared, 144, and then 13 squared, 169. And then we're just going to add these together. So 25 plus 144, 169. And does 169 equal 169? Yes. So now you have a right triangle. All right. So now we're done.